Welcome to Mountain Perspectives, a program where we dive deeply into a variety of topics with esteemed panelists. I'm Chris Romer, your moderator for today's episode. A little bit about me. I am the president and CEO of Vail Valley Partnership, the regional chamber of commerce and economic development organization here in Eagle County. I also serve as an elected trustee for Colorado Mountain College and involved in a number of different initiatives and boards throughout the community. So less about me and more about our esteemed panel. Today's topic is workforce in Eagle County. My fellow panelists are Anna Robinson, Marc Brennan, and Carolyn Tucker. Let's dive right in, shall we, guys? I would like you guys to do individual introductions and introduce yourselves to the audience with who you are and what organization you're with and some of the work you do that will expand as we go through the show today. Anna, we'll start with you.
I'm Anna Robinson. I work for the Vail Valley Partnership with Chris. I am the program manager for the partnership, and I also run our 501c3 arm called Vail Valley Works, which is a nonprofit dedicated to workforce development. We do professional development, skills training, youth apprenticeships, DEI, and mental wellness initiatives.
All the important things.
All the
Now, there's lots of other important things too, but those are some of the important things. It's all the important things that Vail Valley Works and the partnership do. Thank you, Anna. Marc, how about you?
Hi everyone, my name is Marc Brennan and I'm College Vice President and Campus Dean at Colorado Mountain College, Vail Valley at Edwards campus. Bit of a mouthful. What is my role at that campus? Well, my role is really what we're talking about here today, is to kind of work with the community, understand what their needs are, and to try and work towards creating those educational opportunities for our students.
Yeah, and Marc, where's that accent from?
It's from Colorado.
It's from Colorado accent?
I come from
I wish I had that Colorado accent, Marc.
No, I come from a land down under. So yeah, I bring all my Australian experience to a very unique place in Colorado.
Yeah, and we're happy to have you.
Thank you.
And Carolyn, how about you?
Hello, everybody. I'm Carolyn Tucker. I'm with the Workforce Center, and we're based over here in Edwards, and we also have an office in Leadville. And our role is to really help every Coloradan either find a job, get a promotion, or develop skills so that they can be successful in their work life. We do things like resume building, interview skills, all kinds of free training, and work really closely with all the partners here to really lift up the workforce in the Vail Valley.
Yeah, and throughout the entire state and the mountain region for you
true.
Specifically. So let's take a step back and let's work to define workforce. What is workforce and what is workforce development? These are terms that we see in the paper and maybe we're watching this, but what does it really mean? And Carolyn, maybe we'll start with you. What is workforce development? What does workforce mean to you? Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, you and I had a conversation a little while ago, and anytime you kind of have this big nebulous label, workforce, it doesn't mean much. But workforce is actually made up of every single individual. So the person that you see at the come and go, the person that you see at the pizza parlor, my colleagues, my brother, my husband, we're all in the workforce. We all have individual needs. And so when we talk about workforce development, in my opinion, what it means is developing those individuals, developing those skills, creating pathways so that people can realize their dreams or they can realize their goals. And there's tons of resources around the Valley to do that. But it really brings it down to people, and our people make up the workforce, and we can't lose sight of those individuals.
Yeah, I think it's such an important point. We'll dive into a number of the resources over the course of this show, but the idea that it's not this nebulous thing, that it's about helping people, and successful people make a successful community, make successful businesses, and this ebb and flow. It's not a linear pathway. It's based and centered around our people and around our community members. So I love that answer. Marc, I'm going to ask you to follow up on that one. What does workforce development mean to you, and why is it important?
You know, Chris, today I'll probably keep using the word opportunity a lot. You know, one of the kind of missions of the college is to kind of contribute, I guess, to the elevation of our communities. And so, you know, what workforce development for me is creating educational opportunities for our students and actually kind of connecting those with the needs of our community. You know, putting our students in jobs that will allow them to continue to live in the community, you know, an affordable, you know, a decent wage so that they can stay here and thrive and continue to raise families. That's the mission of our campus and that's the mission of our college.
Yeah, and let's explore a little bit more about that. And I think we'll have some time later on to dive into some of the exact details, but I think it's so important for the role that Colorado Mountain College plays. Can you give an example or two of some of the programs to make your previous comment real?
Sure, you know, and I'm going to start early, where we start early is in our high schools with our dual enrollment programs. You know, Colorado Mountain College is a bit of a nebulous beast. Like, we have certificate programs, associate degrees, and bachelor degrees. But in our high schools, we actually have a few technical certificates that students can do. So for those students who may not be interested in attending college, they can enter into our automotive program and graduate from high school with a number of certificates that actually help them get a good paying job. Or they could do our nurse aid program. It's a 1-semester course. They graduate from high school and they go straight into the healthcare profession. So there are a couple of examples of where we're working with the schools to create different pathways for students, which still create pathways into the workforce.
Yeah, and I think that I'm glad you mentioned those, because I think that education to employment pipeline, when we talk about workforce and people think about workforce, they're not necessarily thinking about students in high school.
Yep.
They're not necessarily thinking about how we grow our own.
Mm-hmm.
They're not necessarily thinking about that. They're thinking of maybe mid-career professionals or how we upskill people, which is important and we'll talk about. But I'm glad you touched on the employment, education to employment pipeline, because I think it's a really important component and why workforce is so essential to everything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Marc. Anna, last and certainly not least, for you, what does workforce mean to you, and why is it important?
To me, it's looking at your people, like Carolyn said, and looking at them as a natural resource. And workforce development, in my view, is how do we create the best possible environment for those people to thrive. So what resources are we bringing in? How are we communicating that? And how are we raising awareness of all the opportunities in the community? You know, and those are your people that are here. It's your future workforce, but it's also how do you Sherpa in the outside talent when it is needed, because we'd all love to grow it here all the time, but it's not always possible. But we need to make sure that those people are also able to thrive.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit, because we've got three people from three very different organizations, right? A nonprofit organization working with the business community, a college, higher education. How fortunate are we to have a great chamber of commerce? Shameless plug.
Shameless.
And a great college system here. Historically community college, now 4-year degrees and everything else. And a state agency that's designed and created solely to help people with the employment opportunities and the skilling and everything. So let's talk about collaboration. How do you each, and we'll start with Anna since we ended with you last time. How do you embrace collaboration? Why is collaboration important when it comes to these people initiatives, these workforce initiatives?
It's necessary. I mean, we can't do what we do without each other. There's no one organization that provides all of it. And so I think that it's incredibly important for us to lean on each other, to not be redundant. I don't need to offer the trainings that Colorado Mountain College offers. So I think that the collaboration is incredibly important because it allows each organization to see the need and fill the need. And when we can work together to do that, it really makes the most of our resources.
And in Eagle County, I think that's perfect. And in Eagle County, I think we're so unique because we are and have been relentlessly collaborative, more so than most neighboring communities and more so than most of my colleagues around the country, I get calls all the time. How do you guys do this? It's because we collaborate and because we work together. And I don't know that it's a secret sauce so much, but everyone almost universally is like, wow, like it's not that crazy. It's hard.
Yeah,
But
it's not crazy, it's hard.
It's not
I
crazy.
like that.
Marc, how about you? What's around the idea of working together in collaboration, and how does CMC play a role in that?
I mean, I don't think we could actually do anything that we do without the partnerships that we have. You know, I mentioned before about dual enrollment. You know, it's a partnership with the school district that allows us to actually have one of the very largest programs in the state. You know, we're servicing 700 to 800 students per semester in those programs. But you know, partnerships are really important for, you know, the kind of experiences that we need our students to have. On our campus, we do a lot of health science programming. We have really strong partnerships with organisations like Vail House, so our students can get those clinical experiences that they need. I mean, without those, we couldn't offer EMT, paramedic, phlebotomy, and so forth. Again, with the school district, you know, we have a very tight partnership around our education program as well. You know, it's a win-win situation for everybody. It's like, come to us and tell us what you need, and then help us bring it to life.
Yeah, that's great. And you've done that in any number of ways.
Yes.
Over the years and in your tenure as well. So thanks to you and the team at CMC for that continued focus on the partnerships and the industry partnerships and helping provide that pathway through all those important, many first responder roles in this community. Carolyn, for you, how does a state agency like the Workforce Center, how do you think about collaboration? Why are these community partnerships important?
Well, I always love to say this, that the Workforce Center is probably the best kept secret in the community because we don't have a marketing budget, and all of the funds that we get go right to direct services to prospective employees, employee development, job seeker services. So we're a really kind of under the radar type of organization. So partnerships with CMC and VVP and any other community group really elevates our visibility, and then we can talk and tell our story about the services that we offer. Kind of like what Marc was talking about, some people, and we see a lot of people across the spectrum of, hey, I'm getting my very first job, I don't know what to do, I don't have a resume, so how can you help me build it? To, hey, I just got laid off and I am clueless and I'm still in shock, what do I do? We, you know, kind of parse through all that stuff and say, well, here's your opportunities, here's your thoughts. Try CMC for some things, try some leadership skills and programs with VVP. And so we can't do it all. And so we definitely focus on partnerships and collaborations because we can do more together and we can offer more resources together. We're the conduit for the state from a grant funding perspective and from some other monies that directly impact job seekers. And so we want to share the love of that to our partnerships. And we need bodies, we need people, everyone else has people, and we can come together with those resources.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you all for exploring that idea of collaboration and what it means for workforce in Eagle County. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back before you know it.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Familia de TV8, estamos muy emocionados de seguir avanzando nuestra programación en español. Recientemente tuvimos un exitoso evento donde colaboramos con nuestra comunidad para desarrollar ideas sobre nuestro contenido y nuestra programación en español. Así que muchísimas gracias a todas las personas que asistieron. Y si no tuviste la oportunidad de contribuir, aún puedes mandarme tus comentarios a través de correo electrónico. Y además te invitamos a seguir nuestras nuevas redes sociales para estar al tanto de todo nuestro contenido en español. Nos encuentras en Instagram y Facebook, @TV8 Conexión Latina, o nuestra página web tv8vail.com/Conexión Latina. Recuerda que puedes sintonizar toda la programación de TV8 a través del canal 92 de Comcast o nuestra página web tv8vail.com. TV8 is excited to continue making progress to our Spanish programming. We recently had a successful event at our studio where we collaborated with community members to develop ideas for the future of our Spanish programming. So thank you to everyone who came out. And if you didn't get a chance to contribute, you can still send me your comments via email. You can also now follow our new Spanish social media accounts on Facebook and Instagram at TV8 Conexión Latina, or our website tv8vail.com/Conexión Latina, so you can stay up to date on all our Spanish content. Remember, you can also tune in to all of our TV8 programming on Comcast Channel 92 or our website at tv8vail.com.
Join us in exploring the everyday lives of community members here in the Vail Valley. Hear their inspiring stories of how they came here, their contributions to our community, and why they chose to call this place home. We want you to be one of our neighbors. If you would like to be featured or nominate someone to be featured, please send an email to Danielle@tv8vail.com. We look forward to featuring your story right here on TV8.
Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you into Rugs Benedict to come explore our 12,000 square foot showroom. We've been serving the Vail Valley for over 50 years now with flooring needs, and we inventory a ton of product from Carpet One to provide the very best values, highest style. We just built a warehouse, 15,000 square foot warehouse in gypsum. So we have over 120 different broadloom carpets. We have a lot of waterproof wood flooring, things that we can install right away. We have employee installers, a lifetime installation warranty. Many of them have been with us for decades, and they're true craftsmen in their work. They're absolutely extraordinary at installing any of the flooring that we provide. We also have over 1,000 area rugs in stock right now, and they start at 2x3s. I could bring these into the studio today, but they go all the way up to 12x16s, and we have them hanging on the racks just like shopping for clothing. So it's very easy for you to just flip through, see what's available. We'll deliver them to your house so you can check out how they look in your space with your lighting. All different sizes, all different shapes, some things that are going to be a little bit more contemporary as well as tribal, traditional, all the latest and greatest looks. We have things that are hand knotted, silk, woolen silk options, all the way down to some machine made indoor outdoor type rugs. So really anything that you're looking for your business, for your home, for a rental, Rugs Benedict can provide it. And one thing I consistently hear when people leave our showroom is, that was so easy, thank you so much. So we make the process very easy. Come in, take a look, and we'd love to offer you a free estimate. Look forward to seeing you in our showroom.
Welcome back to Mountain Perspectives. I'm Chris Romer, President and CEO of Vail Valley Partnership. I'm joined by Anna Robinson with Vail Valley Partnership and Vail Valley Works, Marc Brennan with Colorado Mountain College, and Carolyn Tucker with the Colorado Workforce Center. And we're talking about workforce in Eagle County and workforce development and workforce programming. In the first session, we talked a lot about people and collaboration, how workforce is really about helping our people, which helps our businesses, which helps our community, and how working together makes all of that happen. Let's take a step back and talk about kind of the trends that we're seeing and the things that are affecting and impacting workforce in Eagle County. Carolyn, we'll start with you. What's the data tell us? What do you have to share around trends?
So the data, and I'll talk specifically about demographic data and ages and people, because that's directly impacting the workforce. So As everyone knows, baby boomers were one of the largest demographic groups, and they are all kind of getting close, if not already stepping outside the workforce. They are retiring, they're choosing to do something else, they're stepping away. That leaves a huge void. And the Gen Z and the Gen X and the Gen Y and the millennials, there's not enough people coming through. So what we've seen over the last few years, even before COVID, was an unemployment rate below 3% for Eagle County, and it's going to continue to be very low unemployment. So it's, I hate to say this for the business community, it's still going to be difficult to find skilled people, which is why these partnerships are so critical as we grow that workforce. So those trends are impacting the workforce. Again, less bodies. We're seeing a trend toward still a tension between remote work and office work, and that tension is going to continue. We're seeing a shift in how businesses work with employees, and that means kind of checking in on work-life balance, on benefit packages, on livable wages, or at least maybe a competitive wage. And then we're actually talking about place. Where do people want to work? Can they work remote? Which makes Eagle County really attractive for those remote workers, but as everyone understands, there's consequences to that. So those types of trends are going to continue. Technology, because we have to do more with less, and the pace of change is so fast, we're going to need more training, more skilling, more consistent types of programs like that, and implementation of that technology in the business community.
There's so much to unpack there. I look forward to the future Mountain Perspective show on ChatGPT and on the impacts of AI. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. And I think the biggest theme, and I talk about this a lot, is it's really a math problem. We have a math problem. We have more people retiring than we have coming into the workforce. We have approximately 3,500 open positions. With a very low unemployment. So there's about a 10 to 1 unemployed person for every 10 or so jobs that exist. And so that math, you don't have to be great at math to know that is messed up, right? Like right. It creates a lot of challenges for business sustainability and business growth and things. So there's a lot to unpack there, and I appreciate you sharing those trends and focusing it on the people, because it's a big issue.
And one other thing too is we all talked about gig work, but even before, and gig work being part-time or project by project type of work, that is going to continue, if not grow. So a lot of people work 2-3 jobs living in a resort community. I did when I lived in a resort community, and so can businesses look at part-time? Can they work at shift work? Can they compress the workday so people are looking for maybe a 3 or 4 hour, 3 days a week? Take advantage of some of those people that are retired and say, you know what, I retired too soon. The wife needs to get me out of the house. I need to go work at Home Depot for 2 shifts. Those are some of those opportunities that come out of something like this.
Yeah, I think we could talk about this all day, and we have other things to talk about too. But it is really important, and it is kind of essential to the idea of workforce in Eagle County, and the topic today. So thank you for those trends, and we might start to unpack some of that through the rest of this discussion as well. Anna, how about you? From a business perspective and business engagement, what are some of the trends that you're seeing?
Well, I think Carolyn touched on a big one of businesses just being more open to different types of workers, whether that is the partial retiree or, looking at 2 part-time positions instead of a full-time, or looking at high schoolers as a viable employee source. So I'm glad that you touched on that one. I think from a professional development and skills training perspective, the businesses are really starting to buy in. I think my engagement is up. I'm seeing a lot of different businesses that have not engaged in the past are sending people through our training programs. And I think part of that is, we're having to get creative. We're having to promote people that maybe you wouldn't have 5 years ago, or put people in positions where maybe that stretches them a little bit into a different skill set. And so that's really where we want to come in as Vail Valley Works, is to be that safety net and say, hey, you got this. You know, you may not be entirely comfortable with it, or you may have thought it would have taken you a couple more years to get where you are, but we're here to help you along, and the businesses are buying into that. And I think in different ways as well. I think the larger businesses are using our programming because then they don't have to provide it themselves. They're allowed to do other things with their employees that they have. And I think that the smaller businesses are able to offer something that they couldn't before. So I think the buy-in is increasing, and it's for different reasons across the board, but whatever the reason, that's why we're here. And I think they're also understanding the collaboration piece, that when we do send people through leadership training or whatever the case may be, it creates that common language, and that just makes it easier for us to collaborate.
Yeah. Anna, talk about some of the specific trainings and programs that you do at Vail Valley Works.
We do some skills trainings like project management. We have a nonprofit fundraising certification. There's a lot of other skills trainings I'd love to take a foray into in the future. But we're really built on our leadership trainings as kind of our core, and that's the service that we want to provide to all the businesses in the community. And we rolled out a certification this year called the Lead Eagle certification, which is leadership, education, and development. And it's a 4-course series that really establishes that common language that we were talking about. So the first course is called Management Essentials, and we really go into the basics. How do you have a difficult conversation? Why should you document this? How do you see trouble spots with your employees? How do you build a culture? And then we move into taking the lead, which dives more into your team dynamics. How does your team motivated? How do you lead a team of different personalities? And then we have our Community Leadership Academy, which dives into your personal values, what makes you unique as a leader, and what's important to you. And then we end with our Board Service Basics course, which is really serving your community through civic engagement. Whether maybe you're interested in board service, or you're doing it but you don't really know what you're doing, but really teaching people how to go out and give back to their community.
Great, thank you for expanding a little bit on each of those, because I think that's really important to the engagement question and to the workforce. I'll share a quick story. I was talking to a business owner who was lamenting a little bit that they'd had a managerial position open for over a year, and they just couldn't, they had applications and they just couldn't find the right person. And this person said to me, I've got this person on my team that would be perfect for this job in 2 years. And I said, you should hire that person today and develop them and provide them the skills training that exists through different channels that you talked about, or CMC, or the Workforce Center, or other things that exist. And they called me about 6 weeks later, and they said, we hired that person for the job, and we know that they're not there yet, but we're going to give them every path, because it's hard for a business to sit in an open position for a year. When you have someone that you think could do it, you need to hire that person, especially in a community like ours with the challenges that Carolyn talked about. So that's one example, but I think it's pretty common across businesses of anywhere from 6 to 60 employees, that type of situation happens. So pardon the introduction, or the interruption rather, with my commentary. Marc, how about you? What trends are you seeing, and share some of the new programming at CMC?
Sure. I mean, well, first of all, I just want to say to Carolyn's points, yes. On our campus, we've had 5 retirements in the last 12 months, and I've had at least one position that's been open for over 3 years. So not unusual for us as an employer to see exactly the same things that everybody else in the community is seeing. But some of the trends, I mean, Chris, I think in my role, what I do is I let the experts like Carolyn and some of our community partners come to us and say, this is our need. And then we go off and kind of do a little bit of research ourselves to kind of just work out things like what's the job turnover, where's the growth, and so forth. And so a couple of programs that I'd like to highlight, I think one that we introduced last fall was our new bachelor's degree in human services. I think it's pretty obvious to say that behavioural health is a major, major issue. And as the county tries to respond, there's a huge workforce need in human services. So that's one program that we have developed. I'm really thrilled to say that it is enormously popular, probably one of our most popular bachelor degrees in in just over a year. At the campus level, quite exciting. I don't know if people have noticed there's a bit of construction going on, but there's even more coming. We are looking to launch a dental hygiene program in the summer of next year. Anybody who goes to the dentist in this community would also know there is a need for that. And then also in the fall of next year, in response to hospitals across all of the districts that CMC serves, we are launching a radiology technician program. So these are all examples of, again, like people coming to us saying, would you be interested in, and we go off and explore. And just make sure that this is the right program for the community and also for our students. Going back to what I said earlier, we want our students to come out of these degrees with minimal debt, which usually they will do because of our good tuition, but also go into high-paying jobs and really contribute to the community and continue to contribute to the growth of our community as well.
Yeah, it's the dental hygiene is a really exciting opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You talked earlier in the segment, or in the first segment, around the teacher and the education pipeline, where those kids graduate from CMC and essentially have I believe it's 100% placement with the Eagle County School District.
Yes.
So you're filling needs.
Yep.
And responding to the community need and providing opportunities for the kids that have grown up here to be able to stay here in professional positions. And you're also helping on the housing standpoint. This is not a housing show. It's probably a whole different mountain perspective show. But you guys have some housing going in too.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, part of it, you build student housing on our campus. And who are our students? Well, they're the workforce. But the other thing about housing, what's super exciting about it as well, is we're hoping to attract people to come and do our programs and stay in the Valley and actually contribute to the workforce. So we are very close to finishing one building of 36 apartments, which will be open hopefully mid-August, and then a second one, which is in partnership, again, collaboration with Eagle County, which should be opening its doors around October, November. Yeah.
Remarkable. Thanks for that little tangent there, but it is related to workforce in Eagle County, and it is happening at CMC, so I think it's a good.
TV8 is serving the community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, delivering content in all sorts of mediums. Take us with you on the go, as Good Morning Vail and Good Day Vail are now available as podcasts. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, and Pandora. And don't forget, you can always find TV8 on YouTube, tv8vail.com, and all of our social media platforms. Just another reason why there's more for you on 92.
Join us on the Leadville Railroad. This fun-filled train ride takes you and your family on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for a half-day trip of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Book your adventure on the Leadville Railroad today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Here at Sun and Ski Sports, we are all about having the best summer adventures. Our full-service bike shop is here to help you get back on the saddle with services ranging from simple tire changes, full bike overhauls, and rentals. If trail running, hiking, or trips to the lake are your thing, our expert staff will fit you in the best performing footwear or clothing. And don't forget about a relaxing day on the water with our stand-up paddleboard rentals. Call Sun and Ski Sports in Avon or Dillon today, or learn more at sunandski.com/CO.
Next question for you guys, and maybe Marc will stick with you on this to kick us off, but I think one of the terms that we hear a lot, I hear a lot in the community, is this idea of grow your own workforce. And when we talk about growing our own workforce, this is aligned with what you were just talking about with some of the CMC programming. But expand on that idea. What are some of the things happening? What's interesting to you with this idea of grow your own workforce?
Well, I mean, the first thing I'll say, and again, it's a shameless plug for what we do on our campus, close to 95% of our students are in-district students. So that's kind of our aim, is to grow our own. How we do that then is to think really broadly about what sort of opportunities do we need to offer students. So, I talked a little bit about our healthcare programs, I've talked a little bit about what's going on in the schools. Everybody has a different pathway. Not everybody wants to do a bachelor's degree. So it's really thinking about where are the needs and how do we match those needs with the students. So, something that CMC and our campus is very interested in at the moment is trades. What does that look like for CMC to dip its toe into trades? Is it a massive trade school? If so, where does that live? But again, at the dual enrollment level, we are doing construction courses at Battle Mountain, probably starting them at Eagle Valley High School as well. Just let's get something starting right now and keep looking into the feasibility of perhaps doing a trade school somewhere. And again, looking at partnerships, we have unsurprisingly, a lot of organisations coming to us saying, we need an HVAC program, we need a plumbing program. So, my question to them is, okay, how can you help us make this happen?
Right.
So this is what we're doing. I mean, we have our traditional associates and bachelors, some certificate programs, but now I think trades is probably going to be the next direction that we go in.
Yeah, great examples, and directly related to that idea of growing your own workforce, with 95% of your enrollment being people who are in district here in the area. So yeah. Great example. Anna, how about you? From a grow your own workforce standpoint, what are some of the things that you're seeing, and what are some of the programs that are out there?
I think the obvious answer is go after the youth. You have to get to these kids early. And you have to show them the opportunities that are available to them. And like Marc said, not everybody charts the same course, and that's great. That's what we need. We need a variety of people in the workforce. So that we do that at the partnership through our CareerWise youth apprenticeship programs. We have partnerships with businesses in so many different sectors, whether that is banking or HVAC or whatever the case may be. But these kids are starting their career early. They're starting in their junior year, and by the time they're out of high school for 1 year, they're a fully functioning full-time employee that can then grow with the organization. So I think that's been a really important and eye-opening program for our business community. As well as the youth in our schools. We also have our Career Exploration programming through the school district, which is kind of a CareerWise light, where you're not necessarily employed, but you're able to go into the businesses and see what a career may look like as an electrician or a plumber or whatever the case may be. I think it's also offering opportunities to level up. The youth is an important aspect of our workforce, but we have a lot of people that are already here and are already working, and may have realized that they need to acquire some new skills or go a different direction, and we need to offer that opportunity. And I think it's very focused, like Marc said, on you have to lean into the careers that make sense here. We can't all be astrophysicists, especially in Eagle County. But we certainly, do have amazing real estate. We have our Vail Health is an amazing employer that offers a wide variety of career opportunities. So, there's a lot of industries that you can succeed in here in a big way that maybe you couldn't in other places.
And I really like the framing of grow your own, not only with the youth and the kids, but also the seasonal workers who want to stay year round, or the gap year people who come for a year or two and decide they want to stay. I think those are important components of how we think about growing our own. Carolyn, anything you want to add around the idea of growing your own workforce?
I'll just tell Mark and Anna yes as well. But I think it's really critical. I mean, I think Anna touched, and there's great programs with, Vail Valley Partnership and CareerWise to focus on the youth. The thing that we're trying to focus on is those high schoolers that may not know what they want to do, and they graduate from high school, and then there's no support system. There's nothing in school. And they're working, but they're still not sure. So how can we bring resources to them that says, great, you've got an entry-level job. That's terrific. Good for you. What are some next things that you might want to tackle to get to your next level, to maybe supervisor, talking about some of those leadership skills. Those soft skills are so important in the workforce that we need to find those people that are already working and say, great, I want to move up. How do I move up? Where do I move up? What can I do? And so are those resources available? Are those systems available to take it from, yeah, I'm working, but I want to be more. I want to do more, and I want to make more money so I can survive. So, with the Workforce Center, we've got all kinds of internship opportunities, work-based learning opportunities, an apprenticeship program that we're working in healthcare, where the organization identifies their people that they want to upskill and get into the program. And so you take some entry level, have them in the hospital for a while, and then say, great, here's your next opportunity. And there's actually some grant funds for that as well. And that means growing your own. That's organized. That's the organization saying, I'm investing in you as an employee, and we're going to train into what we need.
Yeah, I think that's great. And it's a perfect time for us to take our second commercial break. We'll be right back with Mountain Perspectives.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
It's that time where we're talking Sun and Ski Sports Product of the Week. Now, we've got a great pair of shoes if you're looking to get out there and enjoy the courts. Now, these shoes are going to be as tough for you as you are on the competitor. Now, this is the Head Revolt Pro 4.0. This shoe has so many great features to it, and I don't even know where to begin. Head has this incredible technology called the T-Core 360, giving the shoe core strength, enhanced stability, and torsional support. Now, this also has a lockdown strap right here that's integrated into the lacing system, making it nice and easy for you to keep your foot stable while you're out there enjoying the courts. Now, it also has a 360-degree ventilation cooling system, not only on the top of the shoe, the upper portion right here, but also on the sole of the shoe where that nice little vent is to help you keep your feet cool while you're enjoying the courts. Now, it also has a lateral control to avoid rollovers with your ankles when you're out there enjoying anything that you're doing on the courts. Whether it's tennis or pickleball, these are the shoes for you to make sure that you are nice and supported while you're enjoying your favorite sport. Now, to get your hands on these fabulous shoes, you should check out Sun and Ski Sports. Whether you go online or whether you shop in store, you can go in and find your perfect pair of courtside shoes. That way you can enjoy everything that you're doing and make sure that your feet are nice and stable out there. We want to thank Sun and Ski Sports for giving you this product of the week. We've got more after this.
Welcome aboard. Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Welcome back to Mountain Perspectives. I'm Chris Romer. I am the president and CEO of Vail Valley Partnership, joined today by Anna Robinson with Vail Valley Partnership and Vail Valley Works, Marc Brennan from Colorado Mountain College, and Carolyn Tucker from the Colorado Workforce Center. We're talking about workforce in Eagle County. We've talked about trends. We've talked about grow your own. We've talked about what workforce development even means and how it impacts a community. So let's take a little bit of a step back, and we'll start with Carolyn on this one. What do you wish? You talked earlier about the Workforce Center being the best kept secret.
Yes.
Which is not a great thing. We want people to know more about you.
Yes.
So what do you wish people knew more about your programs?
Well, I want people to know that all of our programs are free and that they are available to anybody who needs our services, and those services include resume writing, interview skills, even career assessments, like what do I want to do? I don't have an idea. Do I have strengths in these different areas? We also have career counselors, one-on-one, so we actually have a personal attachment and connection with people. We also do virtual webinars and virtual meetings if you can't make it to the Workforce Center, which is located in Edwards here in Eagle County. And we also have grant funds. People can get into CDL, get a CDL license. They can do some, we can pay for some of the programs that Marc offers at CMC, leadership training. So we have a ton of resources available, and happy to talk to anyone about those resources and partner and share the information.
Yeah, it's great. You have stuff not just for individuals, but for the businesses too, with some of those grants and things you talked about. So I think those are all great things. Marc, how about you? What do you wish people knew about Colorado Mountain College, Vail Valley at Edwards? What do you wish they knew about the campus and the programming there?
You know, I just wish people knew about the variety of what we offer. You know, I think a lot of people just think of us still as a community college. I would prefer to say a college for the community. We offer bachelor degrees, associate's degrees, and a number of certificates. I think, I probably shouldn't say this in public, but there are some people for whom education is not something that they want to do, and I understand that. That's fine. But if you think you're not smart enough or that you can't do it, then I would probably say that you're wrong. If you think that you can't afford it, I would probably say you're also wrong. If you don't think that you'll get the support that you need in order to complete, I would probably say that you're wrong. So, it's affordable. We have great scholarships. We have an awesome team of people who are there to see you succeed. So yeah, if you have ever thought about it, come on in through the front door.
Yeah, and this community is very good to a lot of organizations and not-for-profits and different needs. But share a little bit more about the scholarships. I'm putting you on the spot. We didn't talk about this before. But do you have a ballpark number of how much money is going into scholarships on your campus?
On our campus? Well, I'll give you sort of college-wide, it's just over $1 million. But at the Vail Valley campus, we are very, very fortunate to have close to nearly $300,000 worth of scholarships awarded to students this year.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah, it's real money that provides real opportunities to people. And as we talked about in the first segment, when we talk about workforce, we're talking about people. So there's real opportunities. So thanks for letting me throw you a little bit of a curveball there, and thanks for having the data at the tip of your brain.
Yeah.
Anna, how about you? What do you wish people knew about your programming at Vail Valley Partnership and Vail Valley Works?
I wish that the business owners knew more that we are here to support them and that we are here to help them grow their own. It's not just the community, but within your own business if you're hesitant about promoting that person, or they need a little extra support and love to bring them along, that we're here to do that. And you don't have to look outside or keep a position open for years. I wish that they knew that we were here, and that they should always be looking for leaders at every level of their organizations. You need entry-level leaders, and you need strategic leaders. And so we are here to help keep that continuum moving.
Yeah, and all great examples from each of you guys. I'll add to Anna's. I wish people knew that we would do custom training for them and connect them with some of the professional facilitators and trainers to do whatever they might need and to use us as that conduit. So that's something that a few businesses do, and we're certainly willing and able to do it for most anybody, to have them get exactly what they need. Yeah. So one more question for you guys. When we talk about workforce development, and again, what that really means is people, what is the one thing that you're really most excited about? And Anna, we'll start with you.
It might be a little bit of a off-the-wall answer, but I'm excited. Hardship creates opportunity, I think is the best way to put it. And right now it's hard for our businesses to hire and retain employees. And so I'm excited, not for the business's hardship, but for the opportunity that it creates for the people who work here to level up, to make more money, to learn about themselves, learn skills that they didn't know that they had. So I think it's been really exciting to sit in on some of the trainings and hear the confidence build in some of these leaders, and I'm excited to see what they do next.
Yeah, it's a great answer. Marc, what are you most excited about when it comes to the idea of workforce development and workforce in Eagle County?
I would probably say the first Friday of every May, which is when we have our graduation. That's when I see the difference that we can make and what we're able to contribute and what the community of the Valley is able to contribute.
Yeah, it's a great answer, and I would encourage anybody and everybody who hasn't taken the time to go to the Vail Performing Arts Center on that first Friday evening in May to experience, I'm going to say kids, but it's not just kids. It's the whole spectrum of ages, but these folks, what it means to them and what it means to their families, and hearing from each of them at the podium sharing their experience, it is a immensely powerful evening. So that's a great example. It's a great example. Carolyn, what about you? What is one thing you're most excited about when it comes to workforce in Eagle County?
Well, I'm going to cheat because I have two. One thing, the first thing is I'm so excited that we make a difference in individual people's lives. So when we get the phone call that says, hey, Carolyn, I got that job, or hey, I got that promotion, thanks for your help. That means the world to us and our entire team, because that's what we're all about, is taking people who don't have that confidence or may have been rocked by something and saying, we're going to help you get to where you want to go. So that's really exciting. The second thing is I'm just thrilled with the partnerships and the resources that are available to the entire community, no matter where you are on the spectrum. First-time job, like I said, laid off, wanting to be a leader. There's so many resources that everyone has to offer that you can find your way and try. And it's time to come out and be all you can be. That's kind of a cliche, but it's really stepping into what the world needs and what the community needs, and build our own fabric by having that resilient workforce. So that's I'm really pumped about.
Yeah, and I'm going to take a little bit of executive privilege here and share what I'm most excited about. And what I'm most excited about really is the entrepreneurial spirit that exists here in Eagle County. This county was built on a lot of the things that you guys have talked about, really bootstrapping, dating back 60 years when Vail Mountain opened the chairlifts and the community changed from a little bit more of a ranching and farming community into a tourism-oriented community, and how we've grown since then. But we've maintained that entrepreneurial spirit, and we've maintained the ability to focus on doing the right things. And our community, be it all the different economic hardships or pandemics or little blips that we've seen in my 26 years here. Every single time our business community has said, all right, how do we do it? What do we need to do next? We haven't wallowed in our, spilt milk, if you will, but rather we've rolled up our sleeves and gotten things done. And I think that's the case for Workforce. We're going to continue to roll up our sleeves and get things done because that's what our people need and that's what our businesses need. It makes me excited. So last question, and this is going to be a really quick one. So lightning round. How do people learn more about your organization and the things you do? Carolyn?
You can look for Colorado Workforce Centers. You can either Google that, or I can give you my phone number, 970-880-4172, and I will put you in contact with all of the resources we have.
Great. Marc, how about you?
Well, every semester you should be receiving a little schedule in your mailbox. Pick it up and read it. Read the stories that are in there. You'll actually find a lot about what we do there. Or come to 150 Miller Ranch Road and walk in the door and see it for yourself.
Yep. Great. And Anna, how about you? How can people learn more?
Easiest way is online, vailvalleyworks.org or vailvalleypartnership.com, or just come see us, come to a mixer. The team's always happy to help.
That's great. Well, thank you guys all for taking the time to join us today. Thank you for viewing Mountain Perspectives. We've been talking about workforce in Eagle County with Carolyn Tucker, Marc Brennan, and Anna Robinson. Really appreciate all of you guys taking the time, and thank you so much.
If you haven't seen Good Day Vail lately, here's what you've been missing. I'm Cece Zach, and I'm the host of Good Day Vail, and you can find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92 or on our website at tva8vail.com and on YouTube. We're here to serve the Vail Valley, and we look forward to sharing our story with all of you.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you on 92"? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on Mountain Perspectives and our new Spanish programming block coming this fall. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website at tv8vail.com.
Do you love the outdoor lifestyle? Make sure you tune in every day at 7 p.m. to catch Scoreboard Nation. It's an outdoor lifestyle show dedicated to your 3 favorite mountain towns, Vail, Beaver Creek, Park City, and Reno, Tahoe. Join us for an incredible venture. Find us on TV8 Vail, Park City Television, or at thescoreboardnation.com. We can't wait to see you there.